Talk, shop, pop, movies.
Ahoy there, this is Derek, the Convicted Cinephile, and if you're a convicted cinephile yourself, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel down below. On my channel, I like to talk, shop, and pop open, that is, movies and physical media, and today is my first official award season video. I will be doing my well, not last minute, but pretty damn near last minute compared to usual, Golden Globes nomination predictions. The nominations come out, I think, on the 9th, so a week from today, I will be making another video of sorts reacting to them, I hope. I just entered all of my picks on the Awards Expert app, and I will just show you screenshots from that. So download that app. If you follow the Oscar Expert channel and brother bro, he's the one who developed the app, and it works quite well. It's kind of like if Gold Derby and Letterboxd had a baby. That's sort of how the Award Expert app looks to me, at least. So it's kind of in between there. I'm kind of shooting from the hip more so than usual because I got my thing on my phone here that I'll be reading off of as opposed to like my second screen because nothing wants to work today. And like I said, I will show you these screenshots as we move along here. So, the Golden Globes, the first important award show of the season. This is a weird year. Like when I was going through these, usually the drama side fills up quick and the comedy side you're kind of grasping at straws, especially with 6 slots for nominees in every category. This year's kind of the opposite. It seemed really easy to pick the musical or comedy nominees, and the drama categories you're grasping for a few more straws than usual. That's just me, though. I haven't seen everything yet. I'm not a super important critic, obviously, so I don't get screeners of things. I have seen a couple Oscar hopefuls. I do plan on seeing Wicked possibly tomorrow. Back to my nomination predictions. I kind of feel lame because I feel like I'm kind of just going along with the flow here for most of these, but that might just show that everyone on this app knows what they're talking about. Maybe including myself, which is the most shocking. So, dramatic picture. We're just doing movies here, no TV, kids. I don't have all day. I've seen none of these, by the way. All 6 of these, haven't seen any of them, but I've heard amazing things. Number 1, The Brutalist. I cannot wait to see this movie. I was just talking about Wicked being long as hell. This movie's 3 hours, 3.5 hours or so, with an intermission. It's a serious flick. Got Adrian Brody in it. He's going to get nominated. The movie's going to get nominated. It's the motion picture, not event movie of the year, but it's definitely like the feat of filmmaking of the year, especially budget to film wise. This movie had like a $6 million budget. How you can make a 3.5 hour long post World War II dramatic epic of a film for $6 million these days is a feat in itself. Like that deserves Oscars right there. Conclave is definitely going to get nominated in the dramatic category. That's one that's been doing pretty well in theaters. It is available to buy and rent digitally, so I might just end up doing that. Edward Berger directed that one, who did All Quiet on the Western Front, which I loved that year. He got snubbed for director for that film. Maybe he'll sneak in for this one. A little bit of a makeup Oscar nomination, as it were. I got Dune Part 2 in there. I haven't even seen that yet. How sad is that? It's been out for almost a year. I wasn't a huge fan of the first Dune. It's technically amazing, obviously, but it's one of those where I really need to rewatch it because I just didn't give a shit. I've heard this one's better in the give a shit department, but not enough for me to go out and buy it. I have Max. I could have watched it a dozen times by now. I just keep putting it off because I really want to rewatch the first part again. Next, I have Sing Sing, which is a movie that I've heard nothing but great things about, and they decided to barely release it. Next, I have Nickel Boys, which sounds intriguing. It is a film made completely in the first person. Every shot is from a first person point of view. I believe it cuts between characters, so you see the other characters through their eyes. But that sounds very awesome and very polarizing. So it's going to be one of those things where you either really get into it and appreciate the filmmaking of it all, or you can't stand it and it irritates you. I think I'll be on the first half who appreciates it. I just hope that the story itself and the characters are interesting enough to carry. I don't want to say a gimmick like that. If it hits you on an emotional level and it works for the movie, it's not a gimmick. It's just that's what filmmaking is. You make a movie and you tell a story in interesting ways. Spoiler alert, by the way, that's what movies are. Sixth, I have A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan movie. It seems like one that the Globes could either go nuts for or not give a shit about. I think Timmy's a shoe-in. And with 6 slots, it shouldn't be that hard to squeak into Best Picture, let's be honest. So those are my nominees for, or predictions rather, for Dramatic Picture. I think a lot of stuff could sneak in there, though. Comedy Picture, or musical, of course. We have Anora, which I have seen. I thought it was extremely interesting, very funny, but a little obnoxious. The wife thought it was very obnoxious, and she genuinely said first thing after we walked out of the theater that might have been the most annoying movie I've ever seen. Which I get. I get that. I get that take. It could have been that for me. Luckily, it was funny and interesting enough that I liked it. But it's not something I'd rewatch a whole bunch. I'll be honest. But it stuck in my head, and the more I thought about it, the more I actually liked the movie. So I do want to watch it again at some point. That's going to be a big Oscar player, whether you like it or not. She's like, there's nothing wrong with it in general. I just found it super fucking obnoxious. That's how she kind of was about it. She's like, that's a stupid character doing stupid things and realizing that they did a stupid thing because they're stupid. Wicked, number two. That'll be the big Bafo movie of the year. It's going to get into damn near everything at the Globes that it can. Probably will, honestly. So, yeah, like I said, I haven't seen it. I expect it to get in everywhere. Win a thing here or there. I doubt it'll win Best Picture. I could see it winning at the Globes. But, I don't know. With their foreign tastes over the last couple of years, I don't think they'll just go full on Wicked like the Globes of the early 2000s or 90s would have. Third, I have Amelia Perez, which I also watched. That is on Netflix. I thought it was pretty good. I've heard a lot of mixed things. I would like to rewatch it because, like watching any movie at home for the first time, especially a mostly foreign language one with the kid running around the house, it's hard to keep track of what the hell's going on sometimes. But it was very good. The performances are great. The three lead actresses, or two lead actresses, and one supporting actress are all very good. I could see a SAG Ensemble nomination primarily just for the three of them. Very good, even if you watch it just for the acting performances. The songs are pretty fun. It was glaringly obvious to me that it is a non-English native speaker writing the songs because the sounds stupid how I'm saying this, trying to think of the right way to word it. But the songs that were in Spanish and the lyrics that were in Spanish flowed very well and very musically, and they hit and they were fun to listen to, regardless of you not knowing what the hell they were saying 2/3 of the time because it was so fast I could hardly read the subtitles. I'm also blind on top of being distracted. But they were very fun to listen to. Let's just put it that way. But there was the occasional song lyric that was in English, and it just didn't flow the same. That's like one of the main things I noticed about the movie. Not that they were bad. They were just kind of, it just kind of sounded funny, especially when you're singing about sex change operations in English and you're a Spanish speaker. It just kind of sounds funny. I don't know. It's just a me thing, probably. But overall, the movie's very good. The lead actresses in it are great, even though one is going to be brought it into supporting, but who doesn't love Zoe Saldana? We'll get there when we get there. A Real Pain. Real Pain, I've heard nothing but also very good things. Came on at Sundance a million years ago. Want to see it. As soon as I get a chance to see it, I will. I hope it's streaming somewhere soon. That's one that'll be a fun, quick watch with some entertaining performances. I expect that to get in. The Substance. I really want to see this as my next prediction. It might be the horror film that can this year. I don't think it'll win anything outside of maybe a tech Oscar or two, best case scenario. But it would be cool to see a movie like this get in everywhere. It seems very deserving from what I've seen and heard from other people, and everyone seems to agree that it's awesome and deserves attention. And I think it could get it, especially with 6 slots in all these categories. And sixth, I put Challengers just because it's another one that I've heard nothing but good things about, even though I haven't had a chance to see it. If and when it gets nominated, I'll probably finally just bite the bullet and watch it. It's another one like Dune, where I could have watched it 10 times by now. I just haven't gotten around to it. On to director. The Brutalist, I heard, is a directing feat, like I was saying earlier, with its budget and epic scope. That seems like something that should win Best Director. To me, seems like the big Oppenheimer vision of a movie. But it costs 1/10 the amount. Anora is definitely going to get in. It could win. I think that's more of a screenplay actor thing than a directing thing, but Sean Baker has a very specific style to him where I could definitely see him getting in and possibly winning. Denis Villeneuve, for doing part two. He got in for part one, I believe, at the Globes, didn't at the Oscars. So with six slots and how well received that movie is, better than the first for most people, why wouldn't he get in here? Emilia Perez, Jacques Audiard, uh, number four I have on there. Once again, it's one of those that could miss at the Oscars, but with six slots in a show that likes to reward musical, it should get in. I have Edward Berger for Conclave at number five, and then The Substance at number six. Corley Farge. Luckily, the names are right there, so I can read them and sound less stupid. Uh, but The Substance is a very unique vision of a film, and that's what should get into Best Director. Even if it doesn't get into Best Picture, it probably deserves Best Director as much, if not more. But there's two categories for picture and only one for director, and that's the challenge. But hopefully she can get in there, and it would also be nice to have a woman in the lineup, especially for a cool horror movie like that. That would be cool. Best Actress Drama is very top heavy, it seems like. Angelina Jolie for Maria. That's a Netflix film. I can't remember if it's out yet or not, but that'll be easy to watch when it is. Nicole Kidman for Baby Girl. I saw the trailer for this when I saw Nora, and it looked very interesting. She looked very cool in the movie. It's like a seductive thriller-esque looking movie, but I've also heard that it's not what the trailer makes it look like, so I don't know what to expect. But she's good in pretty much everything she's ever been in, so why doubt her for an interesting film like this, especially in a category that seems kind of light, I guess, in choices. Like they're all pretty good, but there's nothing that's like, holy shit, she's getting in for sure outside of Angelina Jolie. Marianne John Baptiste for Hard Truths. She seems like an easy pick, especially for here at BAFTA. Saoirse Ronan for The Outrun. I've heard the Blitz is on Apple TV Plus. I would like to watch that, but I've heard that's kind of taking a shit as far as awards prospects go. So this might be her better chance of getting in somewhere. Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here is number five. I haven't seen it, like I said. Room Next Door, Tilda Swinton. You also have Julianne Moore in there, but I hear Tilda Swinton is the one with the edge. Maybe neither of them get in, and the next person in line squeaks up. Who knows? Actress in comedy or musical, which is the more interesting category for sure of the actress categories. Mikey Madison for Nora. She's getting in. She could win, especially here at the Oscars. I don't know if she's one of those a little too new to the scene to win things, but the Oscars kind of like that sometimes. They like to give the Oscar for actress to the nice, pretty young things that come up on stage, and the actor they like to give to the old man. Cynthia Erivo for Wicked. She might not get in at the Oscars, but she will easily get in at the Globes, given the two categories. Carla Sofia Gascon from Emilia Perez, very good, and she plays both the male and female parts of the film very well to the point where you wonder if it's the same person. To be honest, it's like I knew it was, so when I was watching the scenes in the beginning, I was like, this is impressive. So even that as far as like a makeup job goes, very impressive. Demi Moore for The Substance. See, she's never been nominated really for much. Never at the Oscars. I think she's been in at the Globes, maybe for Ghost, and that's like about it. It'd be a nice return to form. I've heard from so many people that this is the best thing she's ever done. I've never been a huge Demi Moore fan. I love Ghost, but not because of her, honestly. She's like the least interesting part of that movie. She's just an actress who I'm like, yep, that's her, and I've never been too into her. This is the first thing she's ever done where I've actually been like intrigued by her being in it. So I think it'll be very, very cool if and when she gets in. The Globes could go hard on The Substance. Like I said, it's already been in three categories of my predictions. This will be like the is it real or is it not real kind of thing. Like The Substance can get in multiple categories outside, especially of actress, because I think she could get in actress despite everything else. But if you can get in picture, director, screenplay, even score, an actress, and maybe even supporting actress at the Globes, then you know it's a thing. So next, I have Zendaya for Challengers. Why not? I've heard nothing but great things about her. She's a very good actress. I liked her a lot in the show she did, Euphoria. She's not just, a cute pop star. She's actually very good in the right project. So, and she usually picks pretty good projects. Amy Adams is number six. Everyone loves Amy Adams for Night Bitch, which I need to see. But come on, I just want a movie called Night Bitch to get nominated for something. And Amy Adams has been nominated for worse movies at the Globes. Let's just put it that way. Best Actor Drama, we have Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, who's getting in for sure. Could be winning his second Oscar. It would be kind of cool if he was, 23 years apart from his first Oscar. This is pretty much the biggest and best thing he's been in since The Pianist. So if he can get two Oscars for lead actor for movies that start with the word the and end with the word ist, that'd be weird. Anyways, Rafe Fiennes for Conclave, another overdue actor who needs an Oscar, arguably should have won for Schindler's List back in 1993, has only been nominated once since, a couple years later for English Patient, and not since then. So it's been pretty much 30 years, damn near. And I think he will get in everywhere, but he seems like the kind of performance that might just not win anything, from what I've heard and seen. A little too quiet of a performance, like a Cillian Murphy and Oppenheimer performance without the insane success that Oppenheimer was overall. Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, number three. Seems like he has at least as good of a chance as he did for Rustin, and he got in there everywhere. And I wasn't even a big fan of Rustin, to be honest. I could not get into that movie at all, but he's a great actor. I love seeing him in anything he's in. Timothée Chalamet on Complete Unknown. I think that's an easy nominee everywhere, essentially. I think he'll get in everywhere. Whether he'll win or not is a different story, but he's an easy pick, especially with uh, the two categories. And the fact that he's in drama and they didn't shoehorn it into musical, which they used to do a lot more than they do lately. They've realized movies about musicians aren't musicals, which is a good thing. Daniel Craig for Queer. Once again, with the six nominees and two categories, this is one place he should get in. He's never really been nominated for anything major, at least in the film awards for sure. So him getting in a few places will be nice. Maybe at the Oscars, but I don't know. I haven't heard enough great things about the film for that to happen. Next, we have Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice at number six. I was hesitant to put him in here, but everyone seems to think he's going to get in, and he might get double nominated. I won't be surprised if he misses in the slightest, given the subject matter. But the fact that he's playing Donald Trump shouldn't detract from the fact that he's good in the movie. So hopefully they vote with their brains and not with their gut reaction slash hearts. I don't know. Whatever you vote for, where you're honest, use that, I guess. Whatever organ that is. Next, we have actor, musical, or comedy. We have Glenn Powell for Hitman. Seems like a easy enough nomination for him. I don't know if it would be an Oscar thing. Maybe if he wins here, it could translate to the Oscars, but tell that to Jim Carrey. Jesse Eisenberg for Real Pain. This also seems like a place he could get in, given the two categories. I've heard a lot of people say they prefer his performance to Kieran Culkin, and they're co-leads, so one of them has to go somewhere. But Jesse will probably at least be nominated for screenplay at the Oscars, even if he's not for actor. Gabriel LaBelle for Saturday Night. This is another show where that could sneak into a few categories, that being one of them. Sebastian Stan again for A Different Man, another interesting looking film I have not yet to see. I threw in Ryan Gosling for The Fall Guy, just because that seems like a Globesy thing to do. It's kind of like the Glenn Powell Hitman thing. They've nominated him before. He's won before in this category, and he's a good actor. And that's like a real comedy. A few people have put him in. I think he might get in just because they like Ryan. Ryan Reynolds is also up there for Deadpool Wolverine. He got in for the original Deadpool. I don't know if it'd happen again. For number six, I reluctantly, even though I love the man, put in Michael Keaton for Beetlejuice, because if it was supporting actor, I wouldn't have picked him because too much other good things in front of it. But for the two categories, something can sneak in. They like Michael Keaton. Who doesn't love Michael Keaton? I love Michael Keaton, and I hated Beetlejuice. It was probably my least favorite movie I've seen all year. I haven't seen a ton, as you could say by me saying how many things I haven't watched, but out of the things I've seen, that is the one I struggled to get through the most, and that comes from a man who loves Michael Keaton. So I hope he doesn't get in. I hope something more interesting gets in than that, but I'm not going to be mad at a Michael Keaton nomination of any sort. All right, supporting actress. We have Zoe Saldana, who is a supporting actress, even though the movie literally follows her character throughout the entire thing for all 2 hours and 12 minutes of it. But she's great in it, and if she ends up getting nominated and winning, that's awesome, because she's an awesome actress. Ariana Grande for Wicked seems to be a surefire nominee, even if she doesn't end up winning. We'll see what happens there. I think it's between the two of them, though. Here and there, it depends on the show. Felicity Jones for The Brutalist seems like a easy pick, given that movie strength. Daniel Deadweiler, who hopefully can get nominated for things again after getting snubbed for Till a couple years back. I put Selena Gomez in there at number five. She's really good in it. I think the Globes would be more willing to nominate her than the Oscars, so we'll see what happens there. But this show seems like they could go for Selena, especially if they really like the film. Get all three actresses in there. And number six, I went with the underdog again with The Substance, Margaret Qualley or Qualley. Qualley? Is it Qualley or Qualley? Qualley, probably, right? Qualley. There's no I. I'm going to say Qualley. And she's essentially a co-lead along with Demi Moore as well, so she could get in. She could ride the Substance train to success, assuming there is one. So why not risk her at number 6, right? Supporting actor. I had Guy Pearce at number 1 for The Brutalist. Finally, Guy Pearce will be getting into awards for film. He has had an amazing career since the 90s. Never gotten in anywhere serious as far as films go. He's been part of such great casts in other films like The Hurt Locker, but he just never really had a chance to shine in a really meaty role in a movie where he's a big, strong leader supporting role, I think, besides like Memento. And that was a little too small to happen back then. So it'll be nice to see him finally get his first Oscar nomination. If he wins, that'd be really cool. I like when actors I've liked for 30 years get things. I'm not complaining. Kieran Culkin next for A Real Pain. He's a co-lead along with Jesse. He steals the scenes. He's like the funnier, bigger performance of the two. Supporting actor is perfect for comedy wins. So Kieran could easily win, especially here, I think. Clarence Macklin for Sing Sing for supporting actor is number 3 on here. Once again, I haven't seen the movie, but I hear he's amazing in it. As far as the ensemble is great. I put Denzel Washington in at number 4 for Gladiator 2, mostly just because he's Denzel Washington. And he gets in for damn near everything. If he does get in at the Oscars, I think this will be his 10th nomination, which would be very cool. But if he misses, I wouldn't care less, honestly. Like, I like Denzel a lot. Who doesn't? He's a great actor. But I'd prefer fresh faces for non-sequels to get in if I could have someone else. But it's Denzel, right? Come on. And with 6 slots, he could easily sneak in there. I put Stanley Tucci. Stanley Tucci. I was looking at the word conclave when I read Tucci at the same time, and it came out Cucci. Stanley Tucci for Conclave, the bigger supporting actor role of that film. The one with a few really good scenes, from what I've heard, more so than John Lithgow, who always gets the short end of the stick when it comes to great supporting roles. He's been nominated a couple times at the Oscars, and everything he's been in since, there's always like another supporting role bigger than his that gets all the limelight. And I always kind of feel bad for John Lithgow these days. But, he's an actor's actor. He doesn't care. On number 6, I put it's kind of close between a few people, but I put Yura Borisov for Honora. I liked him quite a bit in the film. I think he could get in most places, if not everywhere. And if they like Honora enough, he could easily come for the ride. And as far as the supporting actor roles in the film, I think he has the best shot. Next, we have Screenplay. Number 1 is Sean Baker for Honora. I think this is the one thing it could win. Like I said earlier, over director. Could easily win picture for comedy and screenplay. And I think The Brutalist could easily win drama and director. So perfect splits when it comes to the Globes. Speaking of The Brutalist, that is next. For screenplay, Conclave is 3rd. Real Pain is in number 4. I've already talked about all these for the most part, so I'm just going to go through them quick. Sing Sing at number 5. And The Substance at number 6. That'd be very good if it got into screenplay here, given it's only one category. Even with 6 slots, it's still a combined category, so it would be impressive. Amelia Perez was up there for a lot of people, but they don't like musical screenplays that often. It's an original musical, which helps. That's enough of a tick that I slid Substance and Sing Sing in there instead. And I'm just kind of hoping for it. More slight hope diction. For a non-English language film, Amelia Perez I have at number 1. It's going to get several nominations here and at the Oscars, so it should probably be an easy shoe-in to win that category, I would imagine. It'd be kind of weird if it didn't, unless it just tanks and ends up underperforming at the Oscars. I'm Still Here is in 2nd. Seed of the Sacred Fig, which I've heard nothing but great things about. All We Imagine Is Light, Dee Dee, and Kneecap. This is me going by what I've heard and copying people on the app outside of Amelia Perez, which just seems like the obvious pick. Picture animated, The Wild Robot is in number 1. I would like it, that one. That was a very good movie, and I like, usually non-sequels tend to win these things. Inside Out 2, definite nomination, but like I said, the first one won pretty much all these awards. They need to give it again? They could. It could win here and there, but in the long run, it'd be kind of nice to see something new win. Memoir of a Snail, which I have not seen, but it sounds interesting. It's a stop motion film. Flow looks gorgeous from what I've seen, but I've literally only heard about it like yesterday. Wallace and Gromit, with the exception of Chicken Run 2, which is actually very funny. I just watched that for the first time the other day because my kid just got into them. They've nominated every Aardman animation project, short or full length, except for Chicken Run 2. and I've heard this one is better, and everyone loves Wallace and Gromit. So why not have that one get in? And number six, I just threw in Moana 2. It might be one of those too big to fail things, even though I did see that, and I thought it was okay. The animation is gorgeous, just like the first one. I see a lot of people joking about, which I also said, the songs immediately felt like direct to video sequel quality songs compared to the first one, which I stand by. The songs were not nearly as good as Lin-Manuel Miranda's songs. They're fine. They're not terrible or anything, but none of them really stuck out. But the movie overall is okay, and the animation's great. It could get in just based on name recognition alone, essentially. They have that cinematic and box office achievement thing, which I honestly forgot existed. I don't really. Wicked will probably win that. Let's just say that. I don't give a shit about that. That's not a real category. Original score. A few of these I'm interested to hear because I like scores. Scores are good. The Brutalist, I've heard nothing but amazing things. I have that at number one. Dune Part Two, assuming it's eligible, assuming it's eligible at the Oscars, which as of right now it seems to be. There was some hiccups about that. The first one won. I don't think this one needs to win, but it could definitely get nominated because it's very good music. Why not? It deserves it. The score for Conclave, I've heard nothing but great things about. I have that in there. Same goes for Challengers, and that's Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, which I completely forgot until I was reading this just now. And they're amazing, and they usually get in for most things. So that's another one where if the name's on the ballot, they could get in just based on that. But I've heard the score for Challengers is one of its high points, even from people who aren't huge fans of the film. I put Amelia Perez in there. I wasn't going to because original scores for musicals are weird, like because they don't get in that often. But it's an original musical like La La Land, which did get in those categories. So it makes more sense for it to get in. So I did put that in. And The Wild Robot, I have number six. That had a very good score. It's nothing super original, but it hits you at the right points to make you feel things in the story. Just right. It's perfectly manipulative. The score for Wild Robot, and that's good. So points for that. An original song. I don't know what to do here. I have all three Amelia Perez songs in here, partially because I honestly can't remember which one's which, and Amazon Music doesn't want to play me two-thirds of them. So Mi Camino is at number one. That's the Selena Gomez one, which out of the ones I remember was one of the ones I liked the least, I guess. Like, it's not bad, but I prefer other ones. I like Zoe Saldana's song where she sings when they're at the doing like a fundraising dinner thing, and she's singing during that. That part I thought was cool. That was my favorite song. I hope that's one of these three because I liked that one the most. But we'll find out. Kiss the Sky from Wild Robot. It's kind of a cheesy song, but it's cute. El Mal from Amelia Perez. Piece by Piece from Piece by Piece, which, that song's on the trailer. It's catchy. I'll give it that. And then Like a Bird from Sing Sing. Haven't heard that one. And then El Camino. So there's Mi Camino and El Camino, both from Amelia Perez. That's not confusing. I just put all three of them in, and I figured I'd probably get two right. I don't know. So that is the Golden Globe predictions, and I'll be back with my reactions. Hopefully, I will have seen at least one more of these movies in the next week, but if it's not obvious, I don't have a ton of time to go out and see new things that aren't, Moana. Once again, my name is Derek, the Convicted Cinephile. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel down below. I will hopefully be back with more consistent award season stuff since I've been off all summer, essentially, making videos. This is the time of year where I have stuff to do for a reason, and I don't have to go out and buy things to do it. So, yay, free production value. Catch you next time.
Talk, shop, pop, movies.